Hello, this is a prepaid collect call from an inmate at the county jail. This call is subject to recording and monitoring. To accept charges, press 1. To refuse charges, press 2.
Well, hello there, Lori. I'm sure glad you called. As Zombie was saying that you were going through some really low times in your life. Well, yeah, I guess getting arrested and put in jail would kind of be the top of the list of some depressants. But you do have a pretty good support team. Your family's standing by you, and I'm sure you have some friends who are looking out for you as well. Well, yeah, that's a good thing. Well, I don't know. When you know a lot of people that's in the jail, I know some people, it's almost like a reunion for them. It's like, oh, I hadn't seen you in a long time, and they're hanging out in jail. But you're right, right. It's just, yeah, times are tough. I have to admit, it's not easy out there, and it takes a little bit of effort to get through the day. Nobody said it was going to be easy. And that's one of the things that I'm really concerned about now. It's the family seems to be falling apart. We're so disconnected. For me, it's fine. I'm an introvert. I really can sit alone for a long period of time. I avoid crowds, and I'm quite happy. But there's people out there that just love to socialize. They love to communicate and hang out and be busy and do things with their loved ones, and it's just it's just not there like it used to be. I remember one of the things I was really into when I was growing up was during the summer, the schools would have this thing we called summer fun, and we'd just go to their gym, and they would have balls and board games. They would have little creativity exercises and mini classes, and even little field trips down to the lake or a swimming pool or something. And it was fun to get out there. And there was lots of people, hundreds of people that would go. And we had chaperones. We had our friends that were our age and that were looking for something to do this to keep from getting bored. And it wasn't like we had a lot of money to go on summer camps and stuff. This was just something that we could ride our bikes down to the school or walk down there, or parents would give us a ride, and we would hang out. And it really made a difference in my life because I enjoyed that interaction. I don't see that much anymore. There's just people are really into just text messaging and talking through video conferences and stuff. And for a person who likes to get out and hang out, I know that's what Zombie was saying. You are very sociable. And yeah, okay. Well, I know when you're out there with your friends, that's a magic moment. It's just we need more of them. And your family did a lot of activities. You would have picnics and holiday get-togethers and invite people over for birthdays, dinner,
You have 60 seconds remaining.
and we need to encourage that. And that's what I'm doing with my YouTube channel. I'm trying to promote the family, try to get them out there on TikTok and Facebook and all those other social medias. Yeah, okay, I hear you. But speak out. Let folks know that it does affect people's
You have
lives.
30 seconds remaining.
And I'm sure if more people knew that your family, with its division, parents, one parent leaving, children moving away, yeah, it does affect it, right? And the best we can do is get that out there and help other people avoid it. Good. Thanks for the call and keep in contact. We'll see what we can do to try to help you stay positive.
Thank you for using Inmate Call. Goodbye.
Hello, welcome to AQS Inmate Call. I'm your host, Joel Wilborn. And this episode is about the family unit, something I feel is in dire need of some upkeep. We need to do some tweaking on families. The family has a role in a person's life that is beginning to corrode. I don't think people realize just how important a family is. And even a small group of friends. I'm not talking about something where you have 1,000 subscribers or 2,000 followers on social media. This is where people that you can just call up and go down to a fast food restaurant and just sit, talk, have a quick meal, go out back, sit under the tree, and just spend time, good quality time together. And I hear often when people commit suicide or they're murdered or some disappear, that people start thinking back on times like that. It's not like, oh yeah, we should have sent more text messaging. They'll think back on the face-to-face, the quality time. I had a friend, sister, just post a story, just kind of a brief thing about her brother who died 33 years ago. And we're all saying, boy, it's amazing that he's been gone for so long. And he was just 25 years old, so he's been gone longer than he was alive. And that right there, as I'm looking at the picture, I remember that picture from the yearbook, and I remember him. And just to think, 33 years. And I didn't do text messaging or FaceTime, or even just do things on Twitter and Messenger. It was just face to face. And I would sit on a stool and use a rotary phone to call folks. And when I think back on it, I'm happy. I had those experiences and I cherish them. And I hope we can get that through to some of the younger folks, these Zoomers. They need to have more face-to-face. I like to say go out and make memories for tomorrow. And that's one of those things where you cherish the moment. If you are asked to go to a movie, let's say, and you go to the movie and it just blows you away. The acting is fantastic, the plot, the special effects, things just come together that you're so impressed with this movie that you would actually pay to go see it again. And you're sitting next to your friend. And you're screaming, you're laughing, you're gasping while you're sitting in this theater. And I remember going to a theater and the people were sitting sparsely in a row. There'd be a person sitting and then 3 seats, and then two people would sit and then 2 seats. And so my friend, when we came in there was about 4 of us, and there was no way we could all sit together. And she asked the folks, could you just scoot down? And all of them complied. They all scooted down, and we were all closer together because that's what a theater is all about. And, the 4 of us got to sit together, and hopefully some of the people, when they moved down, they maybe met somebody new. But I remember that. And it's easier to remember than doing social media stuff. And so when a family, with me, I wanted a movie night every Friday. And it was hard to get everybody together for some reason. They always had something to do on Friday night. And I had various people living with me. People would come out of prison and they would come out with their wives and girlfriends and husbands and boyfriends and kids. But nobody could stick together. A birthday, nobody could stick together. It broke my heart. For me, it was easy. I set aside a moment. I popped some popcorn and rented a movie and sat down and had my whole ambiance set up. But nobody could sit in there and watch the movie. Some even rebelled. And I guess it's just the way they're growing up now. Maybe it's something that we can't ever fix. We just have to change with the times. And that's why I decided, instead of using social media as this big old thing where we look at shocking videos, somebody robbing a jewelry store, or a car crashing, or a person climbing up the side of a building. Yeah, that's good entertainment and shocking and real. But what do you walk away with? And you could share it with your friends and they'll look at it, and then you may not even see this person for months. But what if you're scrolling through a thread and you just see a quick thing that says, I love my mother, or I miss my sister, or a person says, are you surprised that your woman left you? How much attention do you pay to her? And some of these things touch people. And that's the kind of thread I like to do. When a person's scrolling through TikTok, they'll hit one of my posts. And I have a little boy who was murdered, and he's come back as a ghost, and he's talking to the person who murdered him. And this individual feels remorse and says, if I could take it back, But the boy is angry and upset that he'll never be able to spend time with his family. And so, what if we did have a chance to talk with somebody who's gone? Would that person talk about the memories that we create now? What exactly would a person be missing? I miss the social media. I miss sending emojis. What is it that motivate people to reach out and to create memories and to stay out of trouble? What are we doing to encourage that? And I wish, I don't know, maybe people can do it. You can sit at home and watch TikTok on the TV and scroll through it and have people laugh. I know when people get out of prison and they'd be asking about TikTok, or I would tell them about it, and they would see something that they liked and show it to me. We'd sit side by side looking at this and scroll through and look at something else and just laugh because it's a funny thing. Some of them were deliberately made to be funny. But it's still not playing a game of basketball or skiing, snowboarding, swimming. I know one of the girls I picked up, we were going downtown, and she pointed to an area where she used to go swimming. It was next to the river. And, there's a lot of pollutants and toxins and stuff out there, and animals and bugs, and so people don't want to go out there much anymore. But she's in her 30s, and she has that memory. And then there's people that we visit in the cemetery, and she have memories of them. And that warms my heart. because that's how people live. And when you do something that's funny, or you do something that's serious and mind-provoking, it creates a memory, and it's something people can talk about. And imagine going to a funeral and doing a eulogy and talking about those things. I fear that there's going to be less and less stuff to really talk about because we're not interacting as much. You know, you get a person up there who spent 50 years with somebody and say, well, we went to an amusement park. We hung out at the mall. And I remember we used to go on hikes. And then, you know, it's kind of dwindling down. What else are you going to say? Because most of the time was spent apart, sending a text message once in a while. What are you doing? You want to watch my dog while I go on vacation? It's just, we don't have that connection. And so when people are growing up and they don't see this personal interaction and they run into a problem, they don't know that they can go to their church, they can go to the community center, or they can go to their aunt or next door neighbor or best friend and ask for some assistance. And that's another thing. We need to promote asking for help. There's no shame, not one bit of shame in asking for help. The shame comes from not asking for help. If you get into a situation and don't seek assistance, I consider that shameful. Why do you think you're so great that you can solve this problem without anybody else's help? You shouldn't allow yourself to become that independent. And there's a limit. You know, you don't want to ask for help on everything. But if you know there's somebody there that's going to at least listen and offer some type of assistance, then you're more likely to get through the bad times and not consider suicide or not consider crime. And to me, that's a good way to build the community, to reduce recidivism, and to keep our communities safe. And it's so simple. Just hang out with your friends. Talk with your family. Trust people. Allow people to trust you and allow yourself to trust other people. It's really not that complicated, but it's going to require a lot of work. We need to go back and restore that. And I'm not sure if that can be done easily, but it can be done. And social media is a good way to do it. If anything, if you're going to meet somebody at a mall and you can't find them, text message is great. We're like, hey, where are you? Describe the environment. But to spend your life doing that, wow, boy, that's scary. Well, I hope you get out, hang out with your friends, think about what you would say at their eulogy, talk to them about that, maybe what they would say at your eulogy, and see if we can fill that, get it going. So, have yourself a wonderful day and go out and make beautiful memories for tomorrow.